We're continuing our climb with Crusher Shaman, and in gold, getting close to the platinum range. It's a tough climb. These are all experienced players with pretty much full optimized deck lists. Druid has been generally going well.
The forest fights back.
For Doomhammer.
Hex is good if there's an innervate play. Lightning Storm is good if it is token, and Shield Mouse is good all around. So I think I'll actually just keep this hand. Good start.
Greetings, friend.
Big Game Hunter less so. Still don't have a turn 3 play unless he were to innervate out something that needed to be hexed. Yep, still don't have anything to play. That's okay though. This matchup it generally starts slow, especially if they're ramp as opposed to the token one. Shield Mouse the next turn, followed by Azure Drake. We'll start to develop some board presence. Shaman Yeti does not really change that plan. The Earth Elemental might though, because the Azure Drake doesn't really line up well with the Shaman Yeti. You can get blown out though by playing an early Earth Elemental if they have BGH or TBK. She already spent her coin though, so that means that she wouldn't be able to TBK the turn after I play Earth Elemental, so maybe on 5 is the best option. Less likely to have that hard removal available. Usually we have a good turn 3 play after that, because there's so many cards that cost 3 mana in the stack, but we haven't really drawn into what we want. It is actually nice to hold on to that Big Game Hunter until she plays Ragnaros, which she likely has in her deck. Lightning Bolt is another option, but it's basically all I'd be able to play this turn. I think I'd rather just play the Earth Elemental. And then the Lightning Bolt's still an option next turn unless he trades the Yeti in, which he might.
Where shall I strike?
Yep. Okay. It's not too bad. This is kind of a... Oh, no, that was a good draw actually. Mana Tide Totem on an empty board. We'll either draw removal or draw multiple cards. Either way, we're coming ahead in value.
I must safeguard.
Silence is even better. That's one less silence that we have to worry about for our ancestral spirits. Although we need to draw something that's worth playing here. I don't think lightning bolting that Keeper of the Grove is worth it. So it's just a totem. Earthshock would have been nice for this Blood Mage Thalnos. Deny the draw. We're sitting on 2 Lightning Storms, which are often awkward to use against Druid. So we gotta find some time to take advantage of them. Maybe that'll happen soon. This is a turn where I could see her going wide. But she went to Agent of War instead. We have a Hex for that. I also have the option to Earthshock it now. I feel like the main options here are Earthshock, Lightning Bolt, Cairn. That's pretty good. Also, Faceless Manipulator, Hex is an option. I like getting the Cairn out. still has a lot of spells
The Earth Mother is near.
that could benefit from spell damage, so I think I'm going to clear this out now. She has a swipe and 2 rads.
I have no time for games.
I'm probably going to need to hex that Sylvanas away. I think maybe I'll copy the Cairn though. Cairn I think is going to be pretty helpful. And I'd rather do that than putting out the Earth Elemental that is more at risk of eating a BGH or a TBK. I'll play that later whenever I can be more confident that it'll survive. I don't need taunt right now. I'm not in range of combo. Next turn I can still do Earth Elemental Faceless if I wanted to. Well, but now I'd rather just BGH. We could go triple Cairn.
I've got the beast in my sights.
I like the triple Cairn play. She doesn't seem to have any answer for Cairn. So let's just keep making more. Threatening, well, not threatening lethal, but I have lethal currently with Ragnaros.
I can't win them all.
Okay, we got her. Alright, good start. Lots of Karens. I was just thinking back on a game that we did recently that was like I Cairn spirited it and healed it, ancestral healing it, and then copied it twice. And then my opponent also played a Cairn, I think, and we ended up having like 4 Cairns that summoned Cairns and Banes whenever they died out, something like that. It was really nuts. And then there was a brawl, and everything exploded at once. I don't really know what Priest's deal is in Classic. I assume I don't need AoE. 4 attack minions are good against mage, against priest, right? So I'll keep that. I don't think there's anything I need to Earthshock. I guess you could say that I need to Earthshock. Well, I'll keep it because maybe you need to Earthshock the Nochar Cleric or something.
Greetings, friend.
Is someone injured?
Well, I talked about that, so sure, let's do that. Make sure that he doesn't get any draws off her. That means I can feel free to totem as much as I want. With the Northshire Cleric out, you don't want to start playing totems usually because they can get like draws off your healing totems or off of your searing totems. Not that the totems are super valuable or anything, but better than nothing usually. Except against Hunter too. Against Hunter, they just give your opponent more hounds.
Is someone injured?
Another one.
Not quite what was planned.
Alright, fine. Have a Hex too. I really don't want him to be able to draw. I think I need to stay ahead in card advantage here. Senjin should line up well now. And I should get some free healing off of that healing totem. At some point here I might want a lightning storm while I have the spell power. Karen's another good option right now.
Must consider.
There's probably not silence in Priest, so Earth Elemental, Ancestral Spirit on 7 could go well. The possibility of a he'll probably have what's that card called? Shadow Word Death, but that's okay. I don't think I want to use that Hex anytime soon. I'm gonna need that for like Sylvanas probably. Karen lines up pretty well with his board. Holy fire. You can kill it if he wants to. Well, I think we do the Earth Elemental play. I might need the Hex for a Faceless. If he Facelesses this Earth Elemental. Ragnaros. I wish I had my BGH, but I haven't found it yet. Go face. Yeah. Good start. I think I would yeah, I mean, I can go risky and play the 50-50 by copying his Ragnaros. Nah, I think... Oh, I wanted to send damage, I'm pretty sure. Okay, what else you got? Now I don't have a Sylvanas answer, and I already spent 2 Earth Shocks. Maybe I was a little bit too loose with spending those Earth Shocks. This could bite me. I need a Hex, I guess? Okay. Can definitely Lightning Storm that and still play the Faceless. Okay, that seems very unwise. And I found the other Hex, which is the main thing I'm worried about. Okay, yeah, that was really weird. I'm not really sure what he was going for there. That was not going to work. Alright, we're up to gold rank 1. Hey there, Sarah Surfer.
I must protect the wild. For Doomhammer.
Hex I usually keep for Innervate shenanigans. I don't think there's a good Earth Shock early against Druid. Earthen Ring Farseer is also honestly not that exciting against Druid. I'll keep the Black Knight though. It's expensive, but it's a huge tempo swing. At some point, Druid runs tons of taunt. Well, this is the right place for a Crusher Shaman fix.
Greetings, friend.
I've got 2 wins in a row here so far. This is looking like a pretty good start hand. I can coin out the Mana Tide Totem. It will have to probably draw removal, and if it doesn't, then I can hide it behind this behind this injured Blade Master, and then I'll get a ton of draws off of it. And that alone is kind of a win condition for this deck. Okay. Well, we got one keeper out of the way, which is usually very good for us. And this injured Blade Master lines up all the keeper. That's one less silence that I'll be able to use on our ancestral spirits. See what we got on the other side of the far site. Another mana tide totem that will be behind a taunt. That seems good. Azure Drake, which is a good play for next turn. Feeling good about this start.
I must safeguard the land.
There goes the other keeper. No more silence left in his deck. Probably. No good faceless targets yet. There's that ancestral spirit we've been talking about. On turn 7 I'll be able to ancestral spirit something and then faceless it immediately. I could drop it earlier. Yeah, he clearly doesn't know what he's up against, because that is not a good move against this deck, to spend both silences that easily. I think I'm gonna prefer the Earth Shock here. Well, you know what? I think I'm gonna take that Cairn. And then I'll Earth Shock it. And I will... kind of tough to choose between these two. I mean, the Faceless Manipulator Ancestral Spirit I think is going to go on the Cairn. So I'm less excited about the how he comes back as a 4/7. So I'd rather have the extra health and I guess the spell power. Losing the taunt is maybe a little risky, but we have pretty good board control. I don't think we're going to be relying on taunt here. Interesting. If you just waited one turn, you would have gotten a lot more value out of that. I think that making our duplication now is... I could wait and hex that, because I'm probably going to have to hex that anyway. I don't want to lose this Azure Drake that easily, I guess, is what this comes down to. So let's do that. I'm just gonna apply pressure. We're ahead and I want to try to close this game out, I think, while I have that advantage. So I'm actually just gonna play that as a 4/3. We have plenty of other things on the board. Maybe it'll distract him, give me more time to set up the Cairn play. He's gonna definitely regret using those silences. Okay, well, I can wait one more turn, I guess, since I'm gonna BGH. He distracted, oh boy, okay. I think I see what's going on here. Let's, double Ancestral Spirit that, since fairly confident he doesn't have any silence left. And then we're gonna get to Faceless Manipulator that. Healing Touch means no combo, I think, right? Yeah, I'm gonna want that double Ancestral Spirited minion more than I'm going to want an extra Earth Elemental. Especially now that I'm suspecting that he doesn't run combo. Gotta love all those Cairns. Okay. He doesn't need cards, he needs to play something. Another healing Alright, well, I think I double Earth Elemental here. Oh, I've got no room to do that. That's fine. Maybe it's better to save the mana to be able to do Black Knight. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I've run into a couple of these comboless druids. They don't. Okay, he copied one of my beefy Karens. I think I'm still fine though, because I'm gonna drop another taunt. And I can Earth Shock it. Oh man. What a draw. I mean, if he's comboless druid, there's probably tons of taunts in there. Somewhere I'm gonna get value out of this Black Knight, right? I'm threatening lethal, he has to do something. Taunt has to be on his mind as a way to stop me from killing him off. I kind of want to get rid of some of these totems so that there's more room for my Karens to pop out.
Where shall I start?
Okay. Why don't you kill off that Karen?
For honor.
So... double combo. Let's pretend like he has combo. It's very difficult to lose from this position, right? So I'm trying to think of what can go wrong. What can go wrong is that he actually is running combo and he has a double combo. That's only 22 damage. We'd still live. I'd rather not play a totem so that there's more room for my Karens to come out, and I'm saving that Black Knight because taunt is pretty much the only thing that can stop him from dying next turn. So, pass.
I concede.
And that's it. Hey there, 745 and Ty Hardley. How's it going? Well, we're on a bit of a win streak. One more, and we'll move on to Platinum. We didn't even get to see the double Ancestral Spirited Karen pop and get 2 Karens and a Bane back. That would have been fun. But he didn't play any minions, so there was... he didn't really play much of anything. Another Druid. Druid has been a fantastic matchup for this deck, and I think also Druid is the most popular deck in the format, right? I think, yeah, I'm still throwing back Earth Shocks, and actually Ancestral Spirit's not great early because of the Keepers. You want the Keepers to land somewhere else before you start playing Ancestral Spirits. And your Blade Master is good early if you can find something to combo it with. BGH not so great. You do maybe eventually want BGH. Most druids are running Ragnaros, but that's probably a ways off, unless she innervates it out. If she innervates it out really fast, then BGH is fantastic, right? Healing Totem? Yeah! Good start. So, Healing Totem is stronger in this deck than I think any Shaman in the history of the game. Dropping an injured Blade Master on turn 3 after a Healing Totem is surprisingly good in Classic. It forces her to spend some removal, or, you know, it grows every turn. A Yeti, but I can hide the Blade Master behind Sinjin and get 1 more health on it, and now it contests the Yeti pretty well. I also do have a Lightning Bolt which I could play next turn, or Lightning Storm depending on what she plays. Or Azure Drake. All these make sense,
I must
depending on the
safeguard
situation. Oh man, that is a huge waste of that card. We saw how that backfired for our opponent last game. So I don't really want to play the Lightning Bolt because it screws up our curve a little bit. If I play Azure Drake this turn, then I can light Injured Blademaster, Earthen Ring Farseer next turn. I could play the Earthen Ring Farseer this turn to try to keep something alive. Nah, I think I like the curve better playing the Azure Drake. And this thing will just die to hero power, unless I were to Earthen Ring Farseer it, but I think I'd rather just trade it in and start developing some new minions. And yeah, I'll take that right away. That was a nice draw. Okay, we're off to a fast start against Druid. Druid's gonna have a hard time dealing with a 4-4 and a 4-7 on turn 5.
where shall I strike?
Black Knight? Nah. That would've been nice though. Nothing is worth faceless manipulating here. I think I will kill this with the lightning bolt and heal it back up with the Farseer and the healing totem. We went through all that effort to kill the healing totem for it to come right back and start healing my injured Blade Master again. And my board got bigger that turn. Alright. I want to see an Innervate Ragnaros. Nope. Is that another keeper that she just spent on that? Oh man. Now I need my Ancestral Spirit. So wasteful. I think I just need to play this to keep tempo up a little bit. I don't want to lose my advantage that I'm getting here. I do kind of wish I had that healing totem. And then if I don't draw the Ancestral Spirits, then maybe it makes some sense, but it hurts. It's gotta hurt to spend Keeper of the Grove to kill some hero-powered totems. That can't be good. My hand's not great right now, actually. I really don't want to do a Faceless Manipulator here.
I wonder.
Some extra taunt is nice, I guess. Pass, I think. See if we can start drawing some cards. Earthshock's good. That would be a good way to deal with that. Druid of the Claw, but hopefully she goes wide, and then I can just Lightning Storm the board while I have all this have all this spell power. If she Ragnaroses, I can Faceless Big Game Hunter. That would be exciting. Nope. Azure Drake. Well, that's a good Lightning Storm target. Sort of. Good enough. In this matchup, you're not going to get much more value out of a Lightning Storm. Okay. This is a little tricky, though. What's bad about this is that I'm going to be really overloaded next turn if I do the obvious play of Lightning Storm Earth Elemental, and I could still get blown out by hard removal. He could be seeing a BGH and a TBK. If I wait one more turn, I could Faceless Earth Elemental, but I would have to go this turn without overloading myself, which would just be the Wild Power, Earthshock, and BGH. BGH isn't useful. Earthshock is nice. I could clear his board, play Wild Pyro. I don't know. I think I gotta go for the big overload. and just deal with the consequences of dropping this Earth Elemental. And just let this Mana Tide Totem carry me through. Okay, I'm okay with the Earth Elemental eating a combo. That's fine. Although I have nothing to play now because I don't have any faceless targets. I need her to give me a faceless target. I will hide that Mana Tide Totem behind this taunt. I still need cards, it turns out. Give me a good faceless target. Ragnaros, Ancient of War. No, not Ancient of Lore. Ancient of Lore is no good. Okay. She has a new hand now. There we go. That's something I can work with. Although I gotta imagine that she just picked up some kind of hard removal. If one of them lives, I'll have a spirit target. Ancient of War. That's not gonna save her.
Well played.
Earth Shock. Alright, we made it to Platinum.
Can't win them all.
I think that's 4 games in a row. This is one of the hardest climbs I can remember. Somewhere in like early silver, my opponents were clearly pretty high caliber players, and there's no bonus stars or whatever. The new system is really crazy if you like don't already have all these bonus stars stored up from your like previous MMR, which nobody did. Another druid, alright. I'm up for more druids.
For Doomhammer.
These cards are way too vulnerable to TBK and the Keeper, so I'm going to throw those back. But I'll take an early Mana Tide Totem because it's usually a slow matchup.
Greetings, friend. My greetings.
Druid builds are pretty mixed in their archetype too. There's token, there's like taunt ramp, and then there's like combo ramp. I'm gonna coin out that Mana Tide Totem again. If he has the removal, it'll die, but I'll have come ahead 1 card on the process. And if he doesn't, I'm gonna be able to hide it behind an Injured Blade Master with healing. So it'll be taunted up. The only downside to this play is if he were to innovate Druid of the Claw. But even then, actually, the Injured Blade Master lines up really well with it. Anyway, I'm cool with how that played out. Doesn't change our plan at all. We do our Injured Blade Master Ancestral Healing combo. Oh man, I wish I had another healing. Nope. I don't see any reason to get rid of the first half of that Harvest Golem. Harvest Golems are so good in Classic, it's so weird. Yeah, I could remove it, but I don't have anything to play along with the removal, and the 3-1 will just die to hero power, so I'm going to trade it in, unless they're to get healing, ancestral healing. Might be time to play that Earth Elemental soon. If I play Earth Elemental next turn and I don't play the Lightning Bolt, I'd still be able to play the Senjin the following turn. Okay, spent an early Force of Nature. I think that's probably good for us. I mean, that he almost definitely has the other Force of Nature, but that's a good sign for us. So one of the... Okay. Wow. It's a pretty early concede, but I'm guessing his hand was garbage. And we continue our fast climb.
Thrall versus Jaina.
Mage can be problematic, but we'll see. Lightning Storm is good if it's the aggro mage. I think I'll keep it just for that, and then this combo is always great, so I'm keeping this hand. Mage is another one that is really varied in its archetypes. Freeze is the most popular, but not by like a large margin in my experience. There's like a mid-range variant that's going around, and also an aggro variant that's going around. Our hand is pretty good for against the aggro variant. And the mid-range variant for that matter, really. Maybe not as great for the freeze variant. That means it's not the freeze variant. I will probably just want to lightning bolt that guy away since she's investing everything in it. And I'd rather do that than lightning storm. I can still play the injured blade master the following turn. Alright, I'm liking how this game is starting. Wild Pyro is interesting, but hopefully we actually just don't need it. Well, it's possible that it could be useful here, depending on what she plays this turn. Yeah, okay. Wild Pyro gives a chance at a full clear. I could just faceless the injured blade master. Actually, against aggro, I think I'd rather just take the faceless on the injured blade master. I might be able to squeeze a little bit more out of this lightning storm if she plays a lot more minions. I also didn't like the fact that I was going to be overloaded too next turn. I wasn't going to have anything to play. The downside to this, of course, is she can just play a ton of spells, buff up that mana worm, and wreck my taunts. But I got pretty lucky with those arcane missiles going face. How? I think I still like the Wild Pyro Lightning Storm over the GBK on the... Yeah, let's do it. This makes sure that the Mana Worm dies, and gave a chance at killing off the Harvest Golem, but didn't get it. Alright, well, anyway, it's over. She knows she can't come back from that. Alright, continuing the Platinum climb. Five in a row, I think. Another druid, I'll take another druid. Send me all your druids.
For Doomhammer.
I think for curve reasons, I'm gonna throw back one of the shield masters since we're not on the coin. Wild Pyro I'll keep. I'm not gonna drop that on 2 in case it's Token Druid, although I don't have any activator for Wild Pyro currently. Hopefully I'll draw into it by the time that one of the wild token turns happen. I guess you probably need 2 spells usually for the token turns, since they'll usually do Power of the Wild after a Violet Teacher shenanigans thing. I have not really seen Token Druid work properly against me yet. I'm not sure I even really know what it's supposed to do, but it seems like it must be strong because there's a fair number of people trying it.
My greetings.
Next turn I can find out what's on the far site. Then Senjin. I'm sitting on some conditional hard remove. So my hand is a bit awkward. The Wild Pyro also makes it kind of awkward. Never mind, I would rather play a Mana Tide Totem since there's nothing to contest it right now.
I must safeguard.
And there goes one of the silences already. Alright, good start. And there's an Ancestral Spirit, which is what we want those silences to go away for. This is not token, I'm pretty sure that the Yeti means it's not token. I think I'm going to use the Wild Pyro to clear out this 2-1. And it sets me up to be able to finish the Yeti off next turn. I now have a cheap Faceless Manipulator with double Ancestral Spirit. Something interesting is going to happen here soon. I'm not quite sure what it is, but we're going to make some good copies. If he gives us a nice taunt, we can kill that with TBK. Trade our board in on the Yeti, which is not great. But then the following turn, we'd be able to double Ancestral Spirit to Black Knight, build our own Cairn, and faceless it. Better than a Cairn. Cairn with 2 Banes. That did not happen. And we have nothing to play here. Uh-oh. Oof, our hand is really heavy. I'm going to spend this to try to save some health. We have a really strong hand if we just get the right thing to kick things off, so I just want to stall until we find the right thing to copy. I could do the expensive faces on whatever he drops here potentially. I no longer can TBK. It's kind of a downside I didn't really weigh carefully with that Lightning Storm turn. Innervate Ragnaros. Do it. Even though Rag will probably just kill a token that's useless. I just don't want him to drop the big taunt this turn. Yeah, okay, he went with the Yeti. Yeti's actually pretty strong. I don't know what to do. Earthen Ring Farseer. Not great.
My eyes are open.
Come on. Even a Senjin Ancestral Spirit faces Manipulator, I'd probably take it at this point. That's not a bad Hex target in this matchup, actually. Man, our hand's kind of garbage. Okay. Give us something good here to work with.
Where shall I strike?
I can work with... No! I needed you to put that in taunt form. That's troubling. Oh shoot, he has combo already. Uh, 6. I need to kill 2 minions here to live. Not so realistic, is it? He's clearly got combo. The only way that I see to do this, which is really weak, is to do this. We're out of combo range now. Hooray. But we just wasted a ton of value. And actually, if he has an innervate, we still lose. We could Ancestral Spirit, Faceless next turn, but if it doesn't give us taunt, it doesn't help. Oh, and we lost that ability too. Need taunt. Good taunt. Big taunt. No. That will not do. Could copy the Yeti, Ancestral healing it up. Even then I lose to combo, don't I? Could Mana Tide, Ancestral okay. This is pathetic. And maybe I am better off just pretending like he doesn't actually have combo at this point, but this will keep me alive, and I will draw a couple cards, so who knows? Maybe if I draw into something useful, like an Earth Elemental, it'll stick. That's a pretty desperate play I just did. It's not often you see so many Mana Tide totems. Oh yeah, I'm an idiot. I didn't count that out right at all. There's nothing I could do. That was a very bad hand. So, it is possible to lose to Druid though. Druid's just a good matchup. There's no slam dunk matchups for this deck, but there's almost no disaster matchups either. The only disaster matchup is actually mid-range Shaman, which is not very popular.
Malfurion.
I must protect the wild. For Doomhammer.
I will happily play against Druid again. Again, we got a Mana Tide Totem in our start hand,
My greeting.
which has generally been working well for us. I can't remember if we had one of those last game too. I think we did, and it didn't work out that game, but usually it's quite good. Oh man, especially with what we have here. With the Injured Blade Master and Ancestral Healing. Okay, so this is Token Druid, so I'm gonna wait a little bit on that Mana Tide Totem. We'll go Injured Blade Master, Shield Master, Earth Elemental, Mana Tide Totem, probably. I think I have to start whittling these guys down. Because the Power of the Wild is coming soon. I don't think there's anything. I don't think it's better to like not attack forward here, even though all of my minions matched up poorly against his.
Where shall I strike?
Okay, at least that matches up nicely. Ooh, okay. If I'm right that it's token, I'm not sure they run Keeper. They might. Either way, I think it's worth trying to play the Earth Elemental. We might get a good Faceless here. We do indeed. I could wait to get the extra healing, but then all I do is I take out that 1/1. In the meantime, I put myself at risk of some spells. I think I'd rather just do this than go face. Although the 7 damage would be nice.
I've got the beast in my
That's fine. Put some more tokens out that I can Lightning Storm away, please. No?
eyes are open.
Okay, I'm gonna go face now. We'll see if that's a mistake. Shouldn't be able to combo without
I must
Innervate. I mean, still though, wouldn't have been better if I had killed the 4/2 with that. Mostly I just want to be able to still... Now maybe I have small regrets because he's going to be able to kill off my Mana Tide too. I have another one though. Lightning Storm could clear his board. didn't. I know it doesn't have taunt, but 7-8 is still pretty good. And I'm not worried about combo yet. And he might be worried I have lethal. I'm not going to find a better hex target than this. This combo would still only do 21. And there's a decent chance that I draw into a spell that lets me clear out the frog with the wild pyro. I'm guessing that's game, right? I still don't really know what he could have. Moonfire? Moonfire Wrath? I guess he's still technically out of range. I need something to proc the wild pyro. I didn't get it, which is crazy. But I have another shot. Come on. There it is.
Well played. I concede.
Yep. Oh, we made a friend.
Thrall versus Valir.
Duckworth.
Watch your back.
For doom.
Earthshock is usually not very good in this matchup. It's good against Edwin, and that's about it. I mean, I guess it can stop the Auctioneer, but I'd rather do something more proactive. This matchup has been going well, actually. This is a fairly strong matchup for this deck. But it's very dependent on what your opponent draws, and a little less dependent on what I draw. The key cards are the saps, if they land well. Then you're in trouble. So the goal is to sort of bait out the saps on some lesser targets. So for instance, I might be able to go Senjin, Injured Blade Master with Ancestral Spirit. Hopefully the Injured Blade Master gets sapped. I mean, hopefully the Senjin gets sapped, but that won't happen. But Injured Blade Master with Ancestral Spirit might get sapped. And then I would be able to play an Earth Elemental later that won't get sapped. Wild Pyro is interesting because if you have Wild Pyro and you draw into Lightning Storm, you can clear out concealed Auctioneers or concealed almost anything. Ooh, that did draw a sap. That's a really weak sap. That is a poor decision. That might mean that she is missing like auctioneer or whatever, and is like desperately trying to put some pressure on. But I'm just gonna drop that right back down. And the chat thing is all messed up. I was gonna try to talk to our friend Zach some more, but it didn't work. Was that the other sap? That's crazy. Okay, we're gonna take a little damage here. But I think it's the right call. Can't bounce that anymore.
This guy's toast.
Okay, I can clear his board. Ideally, without having to attack his Edwin. It's not like I need to go for the Edwin. Then next turn, I can play Shield Master, and hopefully I have enough life that I can live. I need to keep Taunt up now though, because I'm low on life.
This guy's toast.
Wow, that is really, really aggressive. Alright. Guess we might lose. That's crazy though. I definitely want that heal, but I need to get Taunt up first. Then I can try to heal. What does he have that can go face? He still has another Eviscerate, jeez. Guess we could be in trouble. Earth Elemental, that's helpful. So we're definitely going to give ourselves some face health. Now we've got some serious taunt up. So now, what can he send face? One Shiv, one Eviscerate, a Blade Flurry with double deadly poison. He spent those saps so fast. But, you know, maybe he's right that that was his best chance because he didn't have the Auctioneer. Yeah, too much taunt. Taunt's good against Miracle Rogue, it turns out.